I'm Lori R. Lopez, and I'm going to read a poem titled Nocturnity from my collection Darkverse, The Shadow Hours. The creature sat on a bench, a swarm of flies hovering over a black hat, raising an eerie hum, landing and launching from the wide brim. I happened to glance his way as I took my evening stroll through Balboa Park at dusk. I was changed by that curious moment. What I saw in a brief, astonished glimpse would stay with me, haunting my days, and influence me to remain inside after dark, peeking through curtains at the twilight hours, suspicious of the shadows collecting around street lamps. He was composed of shade, or seemed to be, a very bleak figure with long limbs and a luminous orange-red gaze. Those eyes scorched my soul with the intensity of a furnace or oven, one used to cremate bodies into ashes, baking them alive. I could hear the screams on my conscience. Peace of mind was robbed ever since that night. His grim presence, the memory of a febrile glower, my unwilling obsession, like a screeching metal hard rock ballad, the creepiest funeral dirge stuck in my head. He had a crooked posture, but not bent forward, for he was straight as a rod rather than hunched. His torso instead was tilted sideways, askew. Hands too bony, shoulders too broad, while his visage wore thin-lipped malice as a grin, with teeth like broken bones. The repugnant character stunned me in a blow, a tremendous wallop that almost hurt. Breathless, I felt my body turn frigid, watched my breath haze the air. A winter eve, though it had been summer the minute before. His congregation of wingers seemed to grow in density and volume. From that night forward, I have endured a nocturnity of speculation and dread, wonder and horror. I have been incapable of erasing or dimming the vision and its awful terrors that infiltrated my brain, my nervous system. Why was he there? What was he? Where did he come from? More important, where was he going? I ask these questions daily, sometimes hourly, due to the trauma experienced in a flash. I have become a recluse, an agoraphobe, to be precise. Thunderstruck, I fled, unable now to work or leave my hermit's shell. His pall encompasses me like a shroud. I can't escape its gloomy veil of fright, the cloak of paranoid hypertension that cripples senses and reason, jeopardizes balance and health. I am a prisoner of my own skin, thanks to that fleet encounter with an evil spirit. Plagued by anxieties, paralyzed by phobia, I may never fully recover who I was, or know with any certainty who I met on that dire eve. A psychiatrist makes house calls to my haven. where I quiver like a leaf. And fear, I fear to the depth of me that my path came across him for an obscure and definite purpose, a destiny I cannot fathom or face with any shard of courage, only the deepest agony, a cold lather of apprehension. A tremble, worthless, I sit and wait, much like him, in that singular macabre park scene, canted, leaning aside. I sit and wonder, rocking slightly, chewing dry lips ragged, fraught by suspense, listening to every sound, afraid I am becoming him.